Today, let's talk about a way that you can make some really good money. You can do the training for this 100% from home, and it's 100% free. Oh, and it's also hosted by Google. And what exactly I'm talking about here is called Google Certifications. This is a certification program that was created and is hosted by Google. And basically what the purpose of this is to give people an opportunity to break into the tech industry in a really accessible way. And did I mention that it's 100% free? So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down what these Google certifications are, how anybody can get started regardless of your background, experience level, and degree. And I'm going to be breaking down the way that you can use these certifications in order to get a pretty high-paying job or side gig. So let's get started. Tech is an ever-growing and extremely lucrative industry to get started in. In fact, the base starting salary on average for the tech industry is between $60,000 and $70,000 per year. But for experienced people in this industry, making $300,000 per year, if not significantly more than that, is actually relatively common. The best part, though, is that the tech industry is one of the first mainstream industries to really embrace the idea of looking for people that have knowledge and experience over a certain degree. You see, the tech industry is one of the very first mainstream industries out there that has traditionally required a degree, but in recent years, they're kind of laying off the emphasis of needing to go to college in order to break into this industry. In fact, more and more tech companies are emphasizing the idea of getting knowledgeable, experienced individuals over the ones that have a high degree. As a result of this, if you're somebody who's willing to learn and if you're willing to put in the hours required in order to gain the required experience, you could absolutely get into a really prestigious and really high-paying position with nothing more than some certifications. This is, of course, really cool because that means that anybody could get into this industry as long as they're willing to learn, which is always something that I'm super into because I think that going to college simply isn't for everyone. But what I'm specifically talking about in this video is a Google certification that's given through a program called Grow with Google. And basically what Grow with Google is it's a program that was implemented about a year ago. And this is a way that people can break into tech with no background experience. The Grow with Google program not only facilitates tech certifications, but it also gives their students a ton of different resources that you can applicably use in order to break into the tech industry. For example, connecting you with companies that work with Grow with Google directly, as well as doing mock interviews, going through Q&As of questions that would be asked in interviews, and a ton of other resources as well. But I think that's enough of talking about it. Let's actually dive into my computer and let's take a look. So here we are at the Grow with Google page, and you can see here that if you scroll down, you'll see a number of different statistics that Google wants you to know, including the fact that there are 1.3 million in-demand job openings across certificate fields. It is under 10 hours worth of work. It is 75% of the students have said that it helped their career over the course of 6 months after taking these certifications. And then lastly, the average salary of these fields is $63,600 starting out, meaning that if you take this certification and if you get a job into this field, then you could expect to earn about $63,000 starting salary, which is pretty dang good. But if we scroll down, this is actually the bread and butter of what I want to talk about in this video. And here are the different certifications that Google offers, including IT support, data analytics, project management, UX design, as well as Android development. In order to get started, all you do is click on the Learn More. That will then take you to the course page where you can say Get Started. And then from here, you can learn a little bit more about the individual course that you're looking to take. For example, this IT professional certificate that gives you the necessary skills that you need in order to break into the IT industry specifically. Or alternatively, you could look at the Android Basics course, which teaches you how to develop apps for Android devices. You could also take the UX Design Professional Certificate, which gives you the necessary skills that you would need in order to get a job in this field. But specifically with this course, it actually guides you through the process of creating projects that you can then highlight in your resume. That way you're more well equipped to actually get a job in tech. Now you can get all of these certifications, or you can pick and choose which certifications would be best suited for what you're wanting to accomplish in your career. According to the research that I did for this video, a lot of people recommended starting with the IT support certificate and then work your way through them from there. But then if you are somebody that is currently familiar with like the tech industry and the different aspects of working in this industry, then you may may not have to start with the IT support and you could instead start with a different one. But that would of course depend on your experience and your background knowledge that you have in this specific type of industry. But it definitely seems like if you're starting from ground zero, the IT support certification would be the best place to start. Then once you go through the certifications and you're certified in the areas you'd like to be certified in, you can go through and you can gain access to different resources to help you actually land the job. According to Google, this includes things like mock interviews, resume building tools, as well as coaching sessions with people that work in the tech industry. Now, for the most part, I probably have a decent idea of what you're thinking, because believe me, whenever I first heard about this, I was thinking the exact same thing. And that is the fact that this has to be too good to be true. There's no way that there's companies out there hiring people based off of certifications alone. But the thing that is different with this Grow with Google certification versus maybe some of the other certifications you find online is that Google is Google, and the power behind this brand cannot be ignored. And that's where the value of Grow with Google really is. Because you see, Google has paired and partnered with over 150 different companies across the entire world, and these companies recognize these certifications as real value adds. And so this is a real applicable way to get your foot into the door of working with these companies. For example, a handful of the companies that Google lists is Snap, Target, Valvoline, Verizon, Walmart, SAP, Spectrum, Crate & Barrel, Salesforce, and so many others. Now, for full transparency, I have not done these types of certifications myself, but I did get really interested in this subject because of the fact that over the last couple of months, I've been seeing a ton of TikToks, oddly enough, about people that have been breaking into the tech industry after being in industries that they weren't super happy in. So because of this, it really has sparked my curiosity, and it made me to start looking into different options for people that are wanting to pursue this path. But with that, I myself have not taken these certifications. So instead, I did my research to find some different reviews and different feedback from people that actually have. Now, these certifications are relatively new. This is a program and this is something that Google implemented within the last year. So the information and the reviews regarding the long-term results of these programs are a little bit vague because of the fact that the program has only been around for about 10 months. But you can see here that there's a post from Reddit that says, anyone done the Grow with IT course? And then this question is basically asking, is it worth the time investment to do this? And the reviews for this specific course were actually quite glowing. It was basically saying that if you're wanting to break into the tech industry, this is a really good place to start. And if you're somebody that's already in the tech industry, this could be a really good way to refresh your memory and get a little bit more understanding of the industry that you work in. Now, I know Reddit and the credibility behind Reddit can sometimes be a little bit of a hit or a miss, and so we also have Quora here as well. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Quora, Quora is a question and answer website, and it really is focused around professionals. So you typically have to have a professional profile of sorts in order to answer these questions. As a result, they're oftentimes viewed to be a bit more credible than some other websites like Reddit. And this question asks, is the Google IT certification worth it? And the answer is yes. Yes, Google certifications are worth the time and effort. In terms of cost, these certificates are comparable to college degrees. Earning a Google certificate would surely help you improve your existing resume because Google certificates involve multiple difficult to pass assessments. And then it goes on to just express the value behind this course. As for the UX design course, you can see here there's a review from the website UX Collective, and this is a blog about UX design. And in this review, the writer says that, yeah, the course is actually quite good, that it is very informative. And if you're somebody who's wanting to learn about UX design, this course and certification could be a really good place to start. In fact, as far as the UX design course, the most negative thing that this blog writer had to say was the fact that the actual course itself was laid out a bit weird because of the platform that Google chose to host the course on. So the negative feedback that this writer had about the course wasn't even about the content itself, but was instead about the platform that the course was hosted on. Now, ultimately, over the last couple of years, I think big players in the tech industry have really done a great job of facilitating the process of gaining knowledge in this industry. For example, Google also has an ad manager course that teaches you how to run Google Ads. Facebook does something very similar, so does Amazon, and so does Apple. All of these companies are taking pretty big strides in helping people break into the industry, which I think is really, really great. Now, I know that we talk about side hustles a lot on this channel, and I think that this path could could or could not be viewed as a side hustle. I think it would depend on your perspective. But I think that the opportunities that taking these types of certification classes could give you are truly endless. You could use the knowledge gained in this course to start an app or to start a side hustle and freelance work. You could use it to get a full-time job in the tech industry. You could use it to create your own product. There is a lot of value of knowing the knowledge that these certifications give you. And the best part is that it is 100% free. So whenever you ask the question of, is it worth it? Well, it's free, so of course it's worth the money, but is it worth the time? And that would of course depend on your goals and how much time you have, as well as where you want to be in 2 to 5 years, even 10 years down the line. Honestly, if you're somebody who's looking to make more money, or if you're somebody who's wanting to shift your career, but you're not exactly sure where to start, I think that these Google certification courses are probably the best place that you can start because they're free, and at the very least, you'll either decide A, you want to move forward from here, or B, tech isn't for you and you want to go another direction. I think as far as resources go, these Google certification courses are one of the best resources out there on the internet today. Like always, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gave you some valuable insight and some different ideas that you can pursue to increase your income and potentially explore an entirely new career path. Like always, if you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.